coverage.
Zafar, one little point. Zafar, one little point. I'm sure you've heard of Javed Miandad. You have?
Yes,
well,
yes.
There was a huge marriage of Dawood Ibrahim's son to Javed Iqbal's daughter, Javed Miandad's daughter in Dubai. And they all had come from Pakistan. Our chaps have got there, even their flight particulars.
Unfortunately, yes,
all come from Karachi.
No, very much indeed. We all, it was headline, not headline, it was news. It was news that Miandad's daughter has married a chap called Dawood Ibrahim Singh, and that this chap was a notorious gunda wanted in India. We've all heard about all this, but I've never seen this chap shopping in Karachi.
I've never known. I mean, shopping in Karachi.
If this chap is in Karachi, you seem to know
I never
everything.
said nobody said shopping in Karachi. I mean, let's be a little reasonable here.
Your intelligence agency is too smart to let you say.
All I'm saying is, and I'll come back to Maroof, but I think General D Bakshi wants to come. You see, I'm saying today, General Yasin Zafar Hilaly, I don't take responsibility for the lack of awareness of the average Pakistani, but I know that if you look at the testimony of Omar Khayyam, let's take away all Indian evidence and all Indian charges. The testimony of Omar Khayyam, if you remember, accused with 6 other men of plotting a bombing campaign in Britain, right, using fertilizer-based explosives. You remember this? Very embarrassing for Pakistan, so embarrassing. Now, after testifying about the terrorist training camp in Pakistan where he claimed the ISI handled explosives training, Khayyam refused to carry on giving evidence because the ISI had threatened his family. Now, this is not an Indian case, right? You remember this, I think, September 2006. Before the whole world you are being exposed. You are being exposed every day. The whole world can't be lying, Mr. Zafar Hilaly. And why are you, as a reasonable person, batting for these infamous brutes? Why are you doing it? Your country is sinking because of this.
God forbid.
Your country is sinking because of this.
No, God forbid
and we will
I will bat for anyone like them. But let me just say this, that there are terrorist camps in Pakistan, in North Waziristan, where people are producing all kinds of weapons and ammunitions, and that we have cleaned out one area, South Waziristan, we cleaned out Swat, we have to go into North Waziristan. I don't deny that these terrorists have their, I say, safe areas, if you like. They are there, but
Maroof,
that they are there because
Maroof's turn to rebut you.
They're killing the ISI.
Maroof.
5 ISI officers have been attacked.
Mr. Hilaly,
what are you saying, ISI? For God's sake.
Mr. Mukherjee.
Mr. Hilaly, sir.
Arnab, can I come in?
Mr. Hilaly, sir.
On other hand,
Maroof first, and then General Bakshi after Maroof.
And coal together.
Sir, please let me come in, sir. Please let me come in. Mr. Hilaly, all the facts that you have given, assuming they are facts, they are all about Pakistan battling terror in Pakistan's Western Front. It's like America's war on terror is against terrorists who attack America. They call it a global war on terror. That's America's problem. When have you confronted terror groups on your eastern side and the terror camps that operate with the Lashkar-e-Toiba? It's public knowledge, and if you don't accept public knowledge, let me give you a few factual evidences. Stephen Tankel's book, Storming the World Stage, about Lashkar-e-Toiba. Imtiaz Gul's book, The Al-Qaeda Connection, both have chapters on the ISI and their boys. You don't want to confront them. Even analysts all over the world say that if India and Pakistan are to move forward, then Pakistan has to give some deliverables on the ground. What stops you from banning the Murid Ke Madarsa? Every piece of evidence indicates that is the hub of terror against India in Punjab. And as Mr. Parthasarthy has brought out, it's public record that the government of Punjab is actually funding them, calling them charitable. If they are charitable, you are ipso facto funding terror groups which are eventually going to eat into you. And that is what the Rand Corporation report says about you.
And that's what we are going to...
Let me also bring out 2 other facts. You said that if Osama bin Laden had a price on his head, why wouldn't Pakistanis hand him over? Hafiz Saeed has a price on his head. Who's handing him over to America or anywhere else? You say that, if he was out shopping, then Pakistanis would have seen him and caught him. But your DG ISI, Hamid Gul, says that Pakistan hid him and we are proud of it.
Let me interrupt you there.
So the fact of the matter is that...
There's a very big difference.
Sir, these are Hamid Gul. Sir, Mr. Hilali, sir, Hamid Gul was interviewed by me and it is on public. On this channel, he has said, yes, we hid him. He says, I am a friend of Hafiz Saeed, I interact with him. America thinks this is not good enough for friendship. That's why America has put a bounty of $10 million on his head. So if you people think that America is giving you the direction on how to fight terror, then you got to listen to what the Americans are saying.
This is now, and the problem is Zafar Hilaly. Zafar Hilaly, no, one minute, Maroof, 1 minute. Zafar Hilaly, the problem, Zafar Hilaly, 1 minute. Zafar Hilaly, 1 minute. The problem is that this is in the ISI's genes. This is in the ISI's DNA. You see, you remember the Willie Bridget testimony now. Willie Bridget was part of an Al-Qaeda connected group of terrorists in Europe involved in numerous plots. Zafar Hilaly, remember that? I think you remember. He laid bare his association between the Pakistani army and the Lashkar-e-Toiba during his testimony in a French court. Not before India's RAW or IB, in a French court. And you know when he did it? He did it in September 2001. In other words, you have been doing this. This Karachi project is an extension of your internal activities to supporting terror. Now you know the Willie Bridget testimony. Zafar Hilaly better than me.
Give me. I want to say two things. Please understand, if you want to understand what we think. First of all, we do not believe that America's outlaws are our outlaws, number one. Secondly, against Hafiz Saeed, we've taken him to court. It would have been very convenient if the court had accepted the evidence and found him guilty. We were under huge pressure. We took him to court. We did not even accept the judgment of the High Court.
Your executive has said absolutely nothing. Your Interior Minister Rahman Malik said Hafiz Saeed cannot be arrested just because India wants Pakistan to arrest him or the US wants him to. Your Interior Minister said he can only be arrested if we are provided with evidence against him. Your Interior Minister says when we give evidence, it calls it fiction. So, Mr. Zafar Hilaly, your executive,
you don't talk about Rahman Malik to me, please. The man is a nincompoop. I want to tell you, he was taken to court, he was taken up to the Supreme Court. There is no evidence against him. That's why we want proof. We kept him in jail
Is Salman Bashir said
so that you would
counters, Mr. Parthasarthy.
The Lashkar-e-Toiba is banned in Pakistan. The Jamaat-e-Dawa is not banned in Pakistan because no evidence has surfaced to us. To the Americans, if it has come,
no, it has come.
Enough
evidence has come.
Enough evidence presented to the world.
Enough and more evidence has come. Enough and more evidence has come. But Salman Bashir, and I don't think he's an nincompoop, says it is literature, not evidence. G Parthasarthy responding to you.
Arnab, 2 points. I mean, I've listened to all this. The fact of the matter is that the Jamaat-ud-Dawa is not declared by the US alone, it is declared by the United Nations as an international terrorist organization.
Very good.
And Shehbaz Sharif is funding it.
United Nations is itself a terrorist organization.
Now, Shehbaz Sharif funded it.
Mr. Parthasarthy,
just a minute.
You are such a good diplomat. You are such a good ambassador of your country to Pakistan. I have the greatest respect for you. But you are now talking about the United Nations as if it's a free instrument. When the Americans want something, they get it done from the United Nations.
So, Mr. Hilaly, you already had a Freudian.
It has been done by the UN. And the other thing
is, but so what? At US insistence, there are a lot of things done by the UN.
Just a minute. No, this is also the Russians. The Russians have as much concerns about the Jamaat-ud-Dawa as we have, because the Jamaat-ud-Dawa trains Chechen rebels and Chechen terrorists. Now, the fact of the matter is, they are declared in the UN, and all I am saying is, ample evidence is available about what they did on the Mumbai bomb blast given in a Chicago court. by two persons of Pakistani origin, trapped by who was caught by the FBI, involved in the Mumbai bomb blast. One was a fellow called Dawood Jilani, he changed his name to David Hadley, and another fellow called Tahawur Rana. Both that have got very long sentences, and their testimony is available in Chicago court about the involvement of Hafiz Saeed, Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi, Muzammil Jamil, and a whole host of ISI officers.
Okay, so here we have a situation, General Bakshi.
If you are not willing to accept that this organization has been exposed worldwide and still insist on defending them, I can only feel sorry.
Well, my last word is to General Bakshi. Now, General Bakshi, we have this man.
Arnab, the important point is this denial, this constant denial,
is now not going to happen.
What does the Prime Minister hope to get from Nawaz Sharif?
Exactly the point I was coming to. Exactly the point I was coming to. So my last point is to General Bakshi. See, General Bakshi, here's a golden opportunity for us. Here's a golden opportunity. As Mr. Parthasarthy says, what does the Prime Minister hope to, even after all this, get by meeting Nawaz Sharif? I think what the Prime Minister should do is that he should get this man's confession, and he should, through diplomatic channels, hand over his confession to Nawaz Sharif. Not go and meet him, because otherwise we have a golden opportunity, G Bakshi, of getting this man's live testimony and presenting it as evidence before the whole world.
Things we have.
Now, can we do that? G Bakshi, how do we extract that mileage? Let me ask you before I close the debate tonight.
You know, I would state that the evidence that we are going to get from this man is first-hand, and it is going to be invaluable. I think we should go to town with this evidence.
Exactly.
And I'm very sure that the Times now will do its national duty and its international duty by making the world aware of what kind of a terrorism manufacturing machine, what a jihad factory we have in our neighborhood. Almost every terrorist incident the world over can be traced back to its roots on the Af-Pak border, on the terror factory that has been raised there. And as to the point of the outlaws of America, they have become the in-laws of Pakistan. Osama bin Laden spent his entire life in 9 years in Pakistan. Out of those 9 years, 6 years he was located 800 meters from the Pakistan Military Academy, Kabul.
Therefore,
800 meters from the Pakistan.
Therefore, here's the opportunity. Here's the opportunity.
Yes, is incompetent.
No, not incompetent. Here's the opportunity. Here's the opportunity. Let us nail Pakistan. Let us get this man on tape. Let us ramp the international pressure.
There was not a soldier around.
Let us not go soft again. Zafar Hilaly.
We must be really crazy if
Zafar
you think that.
Hilaly, the ISI is on the verge of being exposed. If you have friends in the Pakistani army, you can tell them how grave the arrest of Yasin Bhatkal and its
Goswami Sahab, the confessions of a man are not even accepted by a court.
That's the problem, Zafar Hilaly Sahab. That's the problem, Zafar Hilaly Sahab, that your country, you have never accepted the truth, and that's why you are suffering for it. The day you accept the truth about terrorism, you'll stop suffering for it. That's the simple point. And I'll take this debate forward with you another day. I'll take this debate forward with you another day. I'm totally short of time. Gentlemen, I thank you for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you.